Hello, internship class. It's Steve. I hope that you're doing well. I wanted to just briefly do this quick video to talk about some of the topics and themes that we. Hello, internship class. It's Steve. I hope that you're doing well. I wanted to briefly review some of the topics and themes that we've discussed in this course that may be of assistance to you as you plan your final project. And remember, your final project is due this Sunday, June 20th, and it can be either the reflection paper or it can be a presentation. And I really love the presentation option. But either, we will accept either. Be sure to check out the rubric and make sure that you are addressing all of the writing prompts. I also posted an announcement video last week, I believe, regarding the final project. So do make sure that you watch that. So kind of looking back on some of the topics we talked about in the course. So we started off by really kind of looking at your learning objectives, your goals for this experience. That was kind of more so laying the foundation as to what you're hoping to learn, what skills you're looking to acquire, how are you looking to personally, professionally develop. So you may want to, in your final project, touch on that a little bit. We also talked briefly about the intellectual and human dimensions of one's internship. So the intellectual meaning the thinking aspects of your internship. To use a psychology term, the cognitions. So go back and look at this slide, this announcement, and the different perspectives that you can take in terms of thinking about your internship. We also focused on the human dimensions of the experience. Those are going to be the relationships or more the feeling or emotional aspect of the experience. And we talked about establishing your support system. Hopefully you've had that in place. Here is a biggie where we were focusing on applying theory to your internship. Now, it's important that you look back at your coursework, your SNHU coursework, the coursework for your major. It can be a gen ed course, and think about concepts, principles, or theories that you're able to see practiced out in your internship. So I'm giving you an example of, say, a psychology major here. I'm talking a little bit about some of the common topics or themes related to psychology. We're then looking maybe at specific psychology courses that the student took. And then we're focusing on courses outside your major, so gen ed courses. So be thinking about how your SNHU, your formal academic training, so your classroom coursework is able to be practiced or applied in your internship. And you did, of course, do a discussion and a reflection on this topic, so that should not be anything new to anyone. We talked about questions you could explore in your internship, some higher level thinking questions, the what's and how's. So how is this experience relevant to your future career? That's actually one of the writing prompts for your final project. What have you gained from the experience? Those types of things. We talked a little bit about internship processing and the importance of having some self-awareness. I'm going to just scroll down here. So, reflection. So, think about, as you're thinking about your final project, it is a reflection exercise. So, these are the different strategies that we gave you several weeks ago to practice reflection with your internship. So hopefully you have engaged in some of these activities. You've documented your internship a little bit, and then you've sought out a more deeper reflection or deeper meaning and awareness about the experience. We had a video here, the 5 C's of internship reflection, that you may want to go back and look at. And then we talked about challenges and growth. So we focused on the importance of challenge as it relates to growth, and how challenge can breed opportunity and opportunity can breed growth. We also did talk a little bit about successes, some of the successes that you've had in your internship experience. We gave you this. Wait, this is long here. We gave you this announcement here, talking a little bit about experiential learning theory by David Kolb and the learning by doing aspect, and the different kind of stages that are involved with experiential learning that you see right here. So you can even think about applying this to your final project, your final reflection. We even are giving you some questions here. What are you doing? What's happening? What's important? So what? Why does it matter? How do I now use this experience to grow? How do I use this experience to engage in additional experiences that relate to my career trajectory? We had you do a self-check, kind of a half-session self-check, just kind of looking at different factors and topics. This topic is very important: diversity, equity, inclusion. So I would encourage you somewhere in your reflection to maybe at least drop a line or two about how diversity, equity, inclusion is being practiced with your host site and with your internship itself. Then watch the video again if you need to. It has some really great definitions of what we mean by diversity, equity, and inclusion. We talked about the importance of kind of the differences between learning and performance, and doing your best to kind of keep a focus on the learning dimensions of your internship, and moving from a detached observer to involved learner. So again, another concept where you might want to speak a little bit about how you've been an involved learner through this experience, how you've been deeply invested in this experience. You can revisit your learning objectives. You're going to want to do that, actually. I believe that is a writing prompt for the final project. You can also touch base on looking at your internship from multiple points of view. We had a little announcement about success and how you're measuring or progressing with your learning goals. What does success mean to you? What are the sources in your internship that are really fueling success? What are some areas that you'd like to strengthen? So this, again, is a topic that you can use to integrate into your final project. We talked a little bit about professionalism, the role of professionalism, what you've learned about what it means to be a professional through this experience. And then we get to some of the biggie announcements that are focusing on the big ticket items, rather. The final evaluation that is also due this Sunday, June 20th, so you can watch that video. Do follow up with your site supervisor. It was sent to them on June 7th. I think I've gotten one back so far. I'll try to review it this afternoon, but haven't got many of those back yet. So you're going to want to follow up with your site supervisor because that is coming due this Sunday, June 20th. And then we have the final project overview here the video that you want to watch that gives some additional insights and tips on how to maximize your performance on the final project. So hope this was helpful to you. I really do appreciate your time. As always, please feel free to reach out to me regarding any topics or themes that we've discussed throughout the course that you may want to consider applying to your final project. Again, make sure that you look at the rubric, you follow those writing prompts on the rubric, and such. All right. Well, thank you again, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.